All right, this is some help with 2.11. Now, these are ratios we're going to talk about. Remember in first semester when we talked about scale factors, scale factor, or sometimes it was called T, that is your image over your pre-image. Okay, so your new image over the pre-image. But when we talk about ratios, it's a little different. So for instance, for a perimeter ratio, that's when you add the sides of a figure. So the perimeter ratio, you can simply multiply by the scale factor. An area ratio, if we think about a rectangle, length times the width, if that was in inches, it would be inches squared. And so our ratio for area is going to be the scale factor squared. With volume, if we think about the volume of a prism, length times width times height, that's going to be inches cubed. And so our volume ratio is going to be the scale factor cubed. So some examples. A rectangle with an area of 10 feet squared is dilated by a factor of 6. What is the area of the dilated rectangle? All right, so area ratio, our image over our pre-image area, okay, times the scale factor, remember it's squared. And we can rearrange this formula by multiplying both sides by the pre-image of the area. So we've got our new image area is equal to the pre-image area times the scale factor squared. And so we're going to plug in our 10 feet here and our scale factor, but remember to square it. So 36 times 10 gives us 360. That is the new image area. And then that is going to be our units would still be feet squared. All right, this next example says a triangle with an area of 2/3 centimeters squared is dilated by a factor of 9. What is the area of the dilated triangle? So same thing, it says do not leave your answer as a fraction. So you're going to take the same formula, the image area over the pre-image area. Doesn't matter what kind of figure we have, since they've already given you the area, you don't have to calculate it. So we're going to take our new image area times our pre-image area times the scale factor squared. Our area this time is a fraction, 2/3, times our scale factor, 9 squared. So 81 times 2 divided by 3 is going to give you 54 centimeters squared. The next couple talk about volume. Okay, so they tell you a prism with a base area of 4 feet and a height of 8 is dilated by a factor of 4/3. What is the volume of the dilated prism? Round to the nearest hundredth. Remember, hundredth is 2 decimal places. So first we're going to have to do 2 steps. They didn't give us any of the volumes. So first we have to calculate the volume of the first prism, okay, our pre-image prism. So the volume of the prism, remember, is the area of the base times the height. In this case, the area of the base they give us as 4 times our height of 8. So our volume of the pre-image is 32. So now we can use the same formula. Our new image volume is equal to the pre-image volume times the scale factor. This time it's cubed since we're talking about volume instead of area. So we plug in 32 here. Our scale factor is 4/3 cubed. So remember, you're going to cube the numerator and the denominator. When we multiply 32 times 64, divide by 27, we're going to get 75.85. So remember, we're talking about hundredths, so that'll be 2 decimal places. And the last one here, we have a prism with a volume of 720 cubic yards is scaled down, okay, to a volume of 90. What is the scale factor? So this time we're scaling it down. So we know our scale factor is going to have to be less than 1, right? Remember that from first semester. So the image of our volume divided by the pre-image is equal to the scale factor cubed. So they give us the 2 volumes. So remember, it's scaled down to this volume. So 90 is our new volume. 720 was our pre-image, and that's equal to the scale factor cubed. So this fraction will reduce to 1/8, scale factor cubed, and then remember, you have to take the cube root of both sides. All right, when you take the cube root of 1/8, you're going to get 1/2. So our original scale factor was 1/2. If you have any questions, come to Erase Your Grade.